Sue Bird's last regular season home game in Seattle coming up this Sunday against Las Vegas Aces. That's going to be nationally televised. So check that out if you're not in the Seattle area, or maybe even if you are, because this is a complete sellout. 17,000 plus, the largest crowd in Storm history expected for this one on Sunday. And I'm really excited for a lot of reasons, including the fact that, you know, Sue Bird's career is kind of intersected with my own career in a really fun way. The first WNBA game I ever attended was Sue Bird's debut against the New York Liberty back in 2002, and really didn't know a lot about the league. Obviously knew Sue because, you know, she was coming in as kind of the face of the league, as the #1 pick out of UConn, where she had a great career there, was part of one of the greatest college teams of all time. 3 of her teammates drafted in the first round that year, including Swing Cash #2, and then also Diana Taurasi on that team, who was going to be the #1 pick 2 years later. But, you know, came in not knowing a lot. And the reason I was there was my friend Dean Oliver, who has been a mentor to me, kind of the godfather of basketball statistics, had put together a project to track defensive statistics with John Maxwell, who worked in PR with the WNBA. And so they gave credentials to someone in every market to go track defensive statistics of these games. And I volunteered for that, not really knowing what to expect. It took me 2 games to get hooked on the WNBA, and Sue Bird was the reason. Her second game was a terrific performance against the Minnesota Lynx. Huge fourth quarter, helped the Storm win that game in overtime, and it was thrilling, and I haven't looked back. You know, the next year I got hired by the Sonics and Storm to write for their websites, first as an intern, eventually full-time starting in 2004 after I graduated college. That was the year the Storm won the first of their championships. And even after the Sonics moved to Oklahoma City in 2008, I stayed on with the Storm, covering them during their season all the way up to when I started at ESPN after the 2012 season. So there's nobody in my career that I've interviewed more than Sue Bird, and it's been tremendously lucky that that's the player that I've, you know, had here my entire career, given what a thoughtful, you know, interview she is, and someone who really kind of understands what the media is trying to do and can help us do that and do so in a really insightful way. She's been terrific to watch. And one of the things that I've seen over the span of that past 2 decades is she's gone from somebody who was, you know, always popular in Seattle to someone who is now an absolute icon in this city. There's been other players who have maybe had higher peaks, including her teammates Lauren Jackson and Brianna Stewart, who have both won MVPs. There have been players who have played their entire careers in Seattle. But when you look at what she's accomplished in terms of a winning standpoint, because, you know, up until the past decade, this was not a city that was really known for winning sports teams. When the Storm won the championship in 2004, it was the first major pro sports championship here since the Sonics had won in 1979. You also look at Sue Bird was drafted in 2002, has played 2 decades in Seattle. Because of the timing of when her career is going to end at the end of the playoffs this year, the Seattle Mariners will not play a single playoff game in that entire time frame. They might play one this year after she announces her retirement. So you contrast that to the Storm winning 4 titles with Sue Bird, everything she's accomplished, how important this city has become to her and what a home she's made here. You see the acceptance from the basketball community. It's been awesome to hear Jamal Crawford, who's sort of the unofficial head of the basketball committee here, is, you know, a lifelong Seattle resident and somebody who, you know, runs summer basketball here with the Jamal Crawford crossover Pro-Am. Really talk about how much Sue Bird means to the city and that she's, you know, on that Mount Rushmore of Seattle athletes. It's very fitting that she's going to get this sellout crowd, the largest in franchise history, to celebrate her on Sunday. Excited to see the atmosphere. It's also a big game because the one thing is, you know, I said it was her last regular season home game, but because of the WNBA playoff format this year, there's a chance it's her last game in Seattle, period. The Storm aren't guaranteed a home game if they make the playoffs, if they end up in the 5th seed and don't have home court advantage in the first round. The WNBA the last few years has had a structure where the seeds 5 through 8 play, seeds 3 through 8 play single elimination games to get into the semifinals, where then it becomes a best of 5 series. Understandably, people didn't like that and the fact that you might be eliminated in a single game, even if you were the 3rd best team in the league. So the switch they made this year is to go back to a best of 3 series in the first round, which is, you know, sensible. But the way they did it is the higher seed gets the first 2 games of that series at home. The lower seed has to win one of those 2 games to get to play the deciding 3rd game at home. It really doesn't make sense on any level. Number one, you want to have teams guaranteed a home game. I think if they make the playoffs, especially, the Storm's case, they might finish 5th. They're good. They've already won 20 games. They're going to be neck and neck with the Washington Mystics for the 4th seed. And that's, I think, too big of an advantage to the 4th seed relative to the 5th seed if you aren't guaranteed a home game. And the other element of it is, if you are the higher seed, if you lose one of those first 2 games at home, all of a sudden now, after working all season to get home court advantage, I have to play an elimination game on the road. That doesn't make any sense. I think we're going to see the WNBA change this format, maybe back to what they used to do, which was where the lower seed hosted the first game, and then the higher seed got the last 2 at home. That was the original model early in the league's history. I think we'll probably see them change it after this season. And one possible reason is that if the Storm end up the 5th seed and they don't get to play at home in front of what we know would be a sellout crowd for potentially Sue Bird's last game, it's going to be a huge disappointment for the league.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.